Hello, everybody. You are welcome to the Grace Generation TV. My name is Oluwatosin Sanusi, and today is going to be another amazing session that we are going to be having together. And I hope that you're going to stay with us today, and I trust that you're going to stay with us till the end because you are going to learn a lot of things today. And I'm so excited about today's topic. In fact, I'm going to give you guys the gist of how I discovered something while just studying and trying to do a bit of a research about the topic before coming up here today. And I'm just so excited about everything that we are going to be learning together. Are you guys ready, set, go. Okay, if this is your first time on the channel, you are welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm glad that you tuned in to today's live session, or if you're watching later, I am glad that you're watching. I'm glad that you're on the Grace Generation TV. And I know that by the grace of God, you are not going to leave the page the same way that you came. You are either going to learn something new, or you're going to be reminded of something that you've heard of, always known, but it's going to be re-emphasized in your heart, and you are going to put it to practice because it's not enough to learn. We have to apply those things, to our day-to-day lives. And today I'm going to be talking about envy in marriage. So initially, when I put out the designs and the flyers and all of that, it was overcoming jealousy in marriage. But as I did my research, I realized that there's actually a distinct difference between jealousy and envy. How old are you? Like, what's your age today that you're discovering that? Guys, I am 27. I was 27, or I am 27 when I discovered that there is a distinct difference between jealousy and envy, and it was a big shocker to me. So I'll tell you guys what the difference is, but before we go into that, I pray that God just helps us today, and God leads this conversation, and I pray that it blesses somebody's heart. Hello, everybody. If you join in, thank you so much, everybody. And we are just going to delve into it. Comment how when I tell you the difference between jealousy and envy, you have to tell me, how old you were when you discovered that there was actually a distinct difference between the two. But for the sake of the previous flyer I put out, because some people will join this video thinking I was going to be talking about like jealousy and all of that, but I'll just talk a bit about it as well, so they don't feel like you know I feel like somebody scammed you. I did not plan to do that. And so jealousy itself is an emotion. So jealousy is a negative emotion that you feel. But the thing about jealousy is that it's not just you. It involves about 2 to 3, in fact, 4 people. It could involve 4 people. It could involve 5 people. So the basic thing about jealousy, the bottom line of jealousy, the end feeling of it is that you do not want to lose something that you have to another person or to another set of people. So for example, in marriage, you do not want to lose your partner to another person. You do not want your partner to leave you to go meet another person. Are you guys getting the picture? So that's basically what jealousy is. It involves 2 to 3 people. Okay, you're not wanting to lose one person to another person. While envy is just between 2 people. So basically, envy is me wanting something that you have, right? So you have something and I want it, or I desire it, or what, that thing that people say, oh, he's living my life. So that's basically envy. You desire something that somebody has. And in regards to today's topic, it's desiring something that your partner has, or desiring a life that your partner has, or just it could be so many things. So it could be the life that they're living, it could be something that they have, it could be you feel like people praise them a lot, or they're getting like too much accolades and too much praises, and maybe you also want some of that, or you feel like you are underappreciated you know And so many times this stems from discontentment. So you have this feeling of not being content with what you have or where you are or a particular situation that you are in. So it makes you to covet or desire what another person has, right? So most of the times when we're growing up, you say, when someone has something like, man, I'm jealous of you. Or even we say joking like, babe, see, I'm just jealous of your life right now. Like it's something that we have used interchangeably because I mean, we thought envy was jealousy as we were growing up, but I thought envy was jealousy as we grew up. And even when I searched the internet, I discovered that a lot of people thought the same. So you guys, if I hope I'm not alone. If you thought jealousy and envy meant the same thing, please comment in the comment section so I know that I'm not alone in this. I know that you guys are brilliant and all of that, but we are on this boat together. So, as I was saying, I discovered that there was actually a distinct difference in the two. So if you're using the word jealousy, it has to be probably there have been signs of infidelity, signs of distrust in the marriage, probably another person involved in the marriage, and you're feeling like you are jealous because your husband or your wife is paying attention to another person or giving love to be yours to another person. So that's when you use the word like jealous, right? But when you desire a life that somebody has, or you desire something that they have, or you desire an experience that they have, it is envy. So you envy that, but you're not jealous because that person, there's no third party involved. I hope that I've been able to clarify the differences between envy and jealousy. But for today, we are going to be talking about envy. Jealousy is a whole broad topic that we are going to talk about soon, but that soon is not today. We are going to be talking about envy today. So I'm going to give you guys a backstory. When I was pregnant, when my husband got married, we were like winning together. We were doing like stuff together, running our businesses. My husband had been in business years before me, so of course his progress was like ahead of mine, but I was also experiencing progress in my business. So there was that awesome growth together, growing as a family and growing in our individual businesses. But when I got pregnant and we had that child, even though we started another business, but my very first business was experiencing some slack. It was just a bit expressing a downside, let me put it that way. And I started feeling envy towards my husband because I was home with our son. I was home pregnant. Days I was sick, feeling some certain type of way, and I was just not in quotes useful to myself or anybody in the world at that time. But my husband will go out, go for his business as usual, even come home and tell me, oh, we got this deal, oh, we got this project, oh, we're able to achieve this, oh, we finished this project. And it was like, oh my goodness, you are living my life. Like, I want to experience progress as well in my business. I want to do this. I want to do that as well. I want to be able to come home and say, I achieved this, I achieved that, but I couldn't at that particular moment. So I envied him. And that also continued to when we had our son, and I had to adjust with the sleepless nights, the breastfeeding, the always being there like at the beck and call. I can't just pick up my bag and say, I'm going to this place. The boy's going to find. It's going to sort himself. I couldn't do that. I had to be there. He held a lot of. There was a lot of things that he held for me in terms of maybe what I would have called progress in my business, and also in my work with God. And that time, see guys, if I was sleeping and maybe I had not been able to sleep for like a few hours, and then I wake up and I see my husband was maybe having his devotional, he was having his devotion, he was having a small time with God, I would be angry. Not because of that, but because I felt like I had been deprived of my own personal time with God. So even if I wanted to have a devotional, I'm having that devotional probably carrying a baby, or breastfeeding our son, or feeding him. Like, when before you go married, like, you can dedicate that 1 hour, 2 hours, no disturbance, no interruption, nothing of that. But that was not the case now, and I envied my husband because of it. And that made me to deal with a series of emotions and series of things that I want to share with us today, and how we can actually move past that thing. It's easier said, it's very easy to take your vows on your wedding day. For better, for worse, we do this together, whatever your vows were. You took them together. Oh, we are a team, we are doing this. That is what it ought to be. But that doesn't mean that your reality would not be you some emotions coming up in you as you go through different phases of life. So, but the things that ought to be. So when these things come, when these emotions come, okay, so I should deal with this, so that this is not the reality in my marriage. This is not the reality in my life. So that is why we have those blueprints to tell you, for better, for worse, this is teamwork in marriage. You come together as husband and wife, you join your hands together to achieve things. His success is your success. Your success is his success. If one person succeeds, the family has succeeded. All of those beautiful, beautiful things. But it takes intentionality to actually make them your reality. So if you're at a point in your marriage that you are feeling envy, probably you just had a child, and you as the woman have to like take a pause, just put a few breaks on your movement, just to be able to take care of your child, and to be able to just sort the family at the back end, then this is for you. Or if you are a husband and it's the other way around, you have to take a slow break in your movement, because your wife has to do something, or has to achieve a particular thing, or your wife actually has a thriving career and you're supporting her at that particular moment, and you guys have to make a hard choice at some point about maybe someone who gets to take that move while the other person opportunity. This video is for you, because I understand that marriage, we strike a balance, but it doesn't mean that we experience growth at the same pace, because we forget that we are married does not mean that we have become one, does not mean that our journeys, our destinies, how do I explain this that does not sound like Eris? Married with my husband, it doesn't mean that I do not have my own journey as well in life. It does not mean that I have automatically dropped my own destiny and I've picked up, like, his own. I'm doing life. I'm running his own race. Yes, let me put it that way. It does not mean that I am running his own race. I still have my own race to run, and together we have a race to run. We have a purpose as a family, and we have like our individual goals, our individual dreams and things that we want to achieve. But we coming together as husband and wife is us aligning those things. All right, it doesn't mean that you abandon the things that you had in mind, or the things that God has gifted you to do. Right. So that being said, you both have your journeys. So when you get married, you still have to run those races. You still have to go on that journey. And you experience obstacles, you experience distractions, you experience things that come along your way. So I may be experiencing an obstacle at a particular time. My husband might be running at that time in his own career, in his own business, in his own work with God. Like, he might be running, like he will be like he's sprinting, and I might be experiencing some sort of obstacle or some sort of slow movement, all right, at that particular time. So we are married doesn't mean that we still don't experience these dynamics, and that's why it's important to point this out. We tell people, well, I'm part of them, okay, and that's the truth. Marriage is teamwork, but you must not neglect the points. I not even smelled 100,000, okay, at that time. right? So it's important that we understand that just like siblings, just like close friends, we have the same blood running through us, but our journeys are different. So things are the psychological things to do to be able to help you to get past that moment. One thing that the very first thing that you can do is to be sincere. So be sincere about how you feel. Own up with your full chest about how you feel to God and about how you feel to your partner. Because see, I'm with you on this boat. Life can be unfair. So for me, it felt like, oh yes, I'm having a baby and I am home. I'm the one dealing with all of the sickness. I'm the one dealing with all of that. Or I'm the one that had this baby. I'm the one dealing with the sleepless nights. I'm the one dealing with the pain of breastfeeding. I'm the one dealing with this. I'm the one dealing with that. I'm the one that even if my husband wakes up to help take care of child in the night, when the child needs to suck, I still have to get up. I cannot delegate that because I was not expressing. So it was, I was still needed basically at that particular time. And it was a lot, right? So for me, that was it at that particular moment. So sometimes it might feel unfair. For you, it might feel like God have put in so much work I have done. It can be unfair like that. I know that it is easy to say your success is a success, is success is a success. It is easy, and that's how we ought to be. But I'm explaining for people like us that are human and tend to feel these things, okay? This is how we can move past them, regardless of what it is about. Yours might not even be about childbirth. Yours might not be about business. Yours, it could be anything, okay? But that feeling of envy is one and the same in every of these situations. So own up to God about how you feel. Literally, God, this life is not fair because I've been doing this, I've been doing that, and I'm not getting the result. Or for me, I've been taking care of our son, and I've been known my husband will go. My business is suffering. I have to like put my business on a slow pause because I'm taking care of our son. I'm taking care of our child. I was pregnant. I had to put to birth is a lot of things, and I had to put my business on like hold for that particular moment. So it was a lot, but I owned up, right? Own up to God about how you feel. Two, speak to your partner about how you feel. So this is what I feel. I feel like you are having it easier. I feel like you you're getting done or something. Just own up to them. Have a sincere communication, a sincere conversation about how you feel. Don't hold down your feelings. Don't hold down the things that you are experiencing. Talk about it. At every point in time that it shows up, talk about it. Talk about how you feel. Talk about the things that you are experiencing, the things that you are feeling. Talk about it. And another thing that you can do is to constantly remind yourself that you are in no competition with anybody, not even your partner. You're not in a competition with your partner. You're not in a competition with anybody. The only person that you have to do better than every day is yourself. So you have to be a better version of yourself every day, not a better version of your husband, not a better version of your wife, but a better version of yourself every day. So constantly reminding yourself of that, constantly telling yourself that I'm in no competition, and constantly reminding yourself that marriage is teamwork. So at that time, it was a teamwork. I was having a baby. It was working so that it could take care of us and bring money home. How would we thinking about it in hindsight now? If you imagine if you sat at home with me, none of us had thriving businesses at that particular moment. Please, how are we going to eat? Oh, okay. I think they said that children bring what they eat from heaven, Abi. But truthfully, thinking about it in hindsight now, what would we have eaten? How would we have survived if it wasn't running, if it wasn't working, if his business was not thriving? Is business thriving then? Was God blessing us? so that we would be able to thrive in that season, because having a baby is a lot of money, right? So thinking about, but when you are in the moment, you don't think about it in hindsight. You are experiencing what you're experiencing at that time, and you have no explanation, or you owe nobody explanation, or how do they say it? You know what I'm trying to say. So it is important that you constantly remind yourself that, one, you are not in a competition with anybody, not even your partner, and two, marriage is teamwork. Marriage is teamwork. So just keep telling yourself that. So I'm playing my part as a team member, while my partner is playing their part as a team member. We are both playing our part, else a good success story, or else we have success in this, else we make this work. Two people don't do the same thing in a team. Different people are given different responsibilities, different roles. Imagine in football, some people are defenders, some people are strikers, one person is a goalkeeper. Imagine if everybody decides that they want to be goalkeepers, then who plays the ball? If everybody decides that they want to be striker, then who defends the team, right? If everybody decides that they want to be a coach, who eventually plays? Okay? And if everybody decides they want to play, who would then coach? Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? So, as part of a team, now Man City has won Manchester United. He ought to say that because I'm rooting for Manchester United. But what we see is the win. We see, oh yeah, Manchester City won the match. But we don't see the roles that the coach played, that the defender played, that the strikers played, that the goalkeeper plays. When everybody talks about it, oh yay, Man City won, and that's it, period. But every team player had a role to play, and them executing it well is part of the things that resulted in their win. Do you understand? No matter how good the strikers play, the defenders defend the post, if the goalkeeper is not also good, so many goals will enter into the post. So you have to understand it from that perspective. You're doing your part with whatever it is that you are doing at that particular moment, and your partner is doing their part. What people will see outside is a successful marriage. They will not know that you don't even have to explain that this was what I did, this was what my partner did, it's somebody's business. But what is important is that you win as a family. So constantly reminding yourself of that. Paste it on walls if you have to. Paste it on your bathroom mirror if you have to. Marriage is teamwork. This marriage is teamwork. I'm doing my part. It might be hard. It might seem like my partner has the easier part of the work, but I'm doing my part and he's doing his part. And at the end of the day, what we have is a beautiful, blissful marriage. Right. The fourth thing that you can do when you are experiencing envy, when there's a lot of envy in your heart, is to pray. So just like I said, coming out clean to God about how you feel, God, this is how I feel. Because even if you don't talk about it, He knows. But coming about it means that you're owning up to it, like, God, see, this envy. It's not something that you say, I rebuke you, envy, in the name of Jesus. See, there's a process. You have to replace that emotion. You have to be conscious of it. You have to know what it is, and then constantly replace it. And that's why I'm saying, reminding yourself of these things, praying about it, talk to God about it, talk to God about how you feel. God, I feel this way. I feel like my partner is having the easy part. I'm the one that, I read when I was researching, I read of a lady's story. She has kids, and should I say fortunately or fortunately, whatever, her kids' school where she works. So she's a teacher, and that is the school that our kids also attend. So our children are basically in a space almost like in 24 hours, almost 20 hours out of 24 hours. They are basically in a space. They ride to school together, come back home together, do everything together, except from days that she has meetings and she has to leave the house early. But our husband can drive to work himself, come back home himself. He can decide on his way home, oh, I just stopped by to watch a movie. I just stopped by to grab a drink. I stopped by to chill with the boys. I stopped. Do you understand? He had the luxury of that, and she envied him because she felt she didn't have a me time. And I could relate with that because, when you become a mom, you realize that sometimes you don't have that me time that you enjoyed as a single person because the children are in your space. So anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. So you have to understand that you are doing your part. So it was just so beautiful to read that story that I could relate. And at the end of the day, you discover that marriage is teamwork. That time, there are ways that she can actually have me time if they plan it. Okay. So I'm not saying that this should be you bombarding yourself and not having time for yourself to grow yourself, to develop yourself. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying the reality of things. Now you cannot just up off and say, I want to do this. You have to make proper planning for the children. And that was the case with her and a bit of mine. And that was the time that I felt envy towards my husband. And so pray about it. Talk to God about it. Talk to God about how you're feeling. And then pray for your partner. There's something amazing that praying when you are awed by somebody or when you envy somebody, there's something about praying for them that heals you. I don't know the thing behind it, but there's something about praying for them that actually helps you, that helps your heart condition when you pray for them. So pray for them as well. Pray for your partner. After you have told God how you feel, pray for them. The fifth thing that you can do is to rejoice with them. So your partner comes home, they got a promotion. Yay! Let's rejoice. You are genuinely happy for them. And from the bottom of your heart, the Bible says in Romans 12, verse 15, that rejoice with those who rejoice. Another version says, be happy with those that are happy. That's the first part of the verse. So it's important that you rejoice, be happy for them. Be happy knowing that God is in your neighborhood. God is in your house. Your partner has a promotion. Oh, yay! You are also going to have an awesome testimony together as a family in your own life. Rejoice. You know what they say? Praise God. Thank God for what He has done. And thank God that did it for your partner is going to do it for you as well. So rejoice with them. Don't be malicious when they come back with success stories, or when they come back with a breakthrough, or when they come back with a testimony of an answered prayer of something that has helped their lives. Don't be malicious about it, especially in times when it feels like your own life is on standstill, or your life, you don't even understand what is going on at that particular moment. Be happy with them, okay? Be happy, rejoice with them. The 6 things that you need to do is to deal with insecurity. So like I said earlier, envy sometimes stems from a place of insecurity or not being content with yourself, not being content with where you are, not being content with the things that you have achieved or the things that you're doing. So one thing that I did then was that I started telling myself that having a baby, hey, I am doing a good job. If that is what God wants me to do that year, I am doing a great job. When people asking me how my 2020 was or my 2021 was, or things I achieved, what I achieved was that I was pregnant and God helped me to birth a bouncing baby boy and to start to raise him and to start the journey of motherhood. Praise the Lord. That is my achievement. That's the goal, and that's what I achieved. Okay. So I didn't put myself under pressure. I acknowledge I was contented with that. I could have wanted more. I could have pushed for more. I could have been frustrated as well while not being able to achieve it. But that was what I did. And it really, really helped because I accepted that I am right where God will have me be. I am doing what God will have me be, raising an amazing boy, raising a child, and that's where God will have me be. Would there be greater opportunities in the future? Oh, absolutely. But right now, this is where God will have me be. And He helped contentment to grow in my heart. I was happy. I became happy. I became contented. I looked forward to my husband even coming back from work because I also had too many things to tell him. Oh, babe, I was able to achieve putting Erioluwa to sleep at so time, I was able to get up. I was able to actually get 2 hours of sleep. Like I was happy to also start sharing the things that I experienced during the day while it was not, oh, Titi Erioluwa did this, Erioluwa said this, or he said this first word, or he said mama, or he made an attempt to walk or something. I was able to also start telling him, because that's my own work experience. That was the work experience I had that day. That's the achievement that I had. That was my business progressing that day. So I hope somebody is getting what I'm trying to say. So I did not belittle what I was going through. I didn't belittle it in the sense that, okay, maybe it was not bringing in money, or I did not seal a deal, or I did not get a new customer or something. No, I started to see it as my business, even if it is bringing a future investment, and that's investing into our children's life, right? I started to see it that way. And another thing that you can do, the seventh thing that you can do, is that you need to build a firm root in God. So you need to get to that stage that no matter what anybody does around you, it doesn't move you, because you know for a fact that you are right at the center of God's will for your life. You are right where God will have you be. Trusting God that, see, where I am right now is where God will have me be. So you are not you're not feeling like, oh, you're not content, or you're not feeling like, oh, you're lagging behind or something. There is always room for improvement. So instead of envy, take that as, an inspiration to keep working on yourself, to be a better version of yourself, to become a better version of yourself daily, right? Today my husband and I had a conversation, and it was just about putting in more work to be a better version of myself. I cannot tell you that I handled it the best way, because in my mind I felt like I'm doing a good job, right? But it was good for me to be able to take that and to realize that, as much as I'm doing a good job, or I believe that I'm doing a good job, there is always room for improvement. There is always something you can do better. There is always, no matter how good it is, there is always something that you can always do better. So take that as an inspiration. Instead of envy, turn it to an inspiration, because when you are rooted in God, the things that should make you envious should begin to inspire you. So you see your partner acing his exams, or acing his certifications, or just acing something, and then if you take that as an inspiration to do something, okay, also invest in yourself. Another thing, I forgot, I didn't even write this down. Another thing that the Holy Spirit began to help me know then is that my husband or my partner is not how do I put it? Is not after my misfortune. How do I put it? Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say. Is not after my misfortune. Is not after my doom. It does not want me to be stagnant in life. So if I'm not achieving something, it's not because my partner does not want me to achieve it. It's because I have not put in the work to achieve that thing. Do you get that? Like, that thing eats me when the Holy Spirit told me in my mind. I'm like, are you siding my husband? Because then I would blame my husband shortly, because I feel like, oh, I've not been able to pray. I've not been able to have me time in my prayer. I've not been able to invest, in my work with God. When Eri was still little, I always felt that way. Like, oh my goodness, like I didn't have that time. I was always just grumbling, angry in some sort of sense, because I just felt like I was lagging behind in my work with God. And it's just dawned on me, like, this person told me, like, is your husband holding you from saying a word of prayer? Is your husband stopping you when you want to pray? Is it stopping you from reading your Bible? Is it stopping you from planning your time? Is it stopping you from carrying your child and even doing that prayer? I was waiting for something perfect, no noise, no disturbance. But Jesus was telling me that, bring the noise, okay? Your child is crying, bring him. Let's have that devotion together. So your partner is not, whatever it is that you feel like you are not achieving at the particular moment, Your partner is not the one behind it. It is you that has not put in the work. If you wanted to achieve it, you would put in the work and you'll be able to achieve it. And I'm saying that to myself as well. So stop blaming your partner because you feel like you've not achieved a particular thing. Put it in the work and you get the results that it is that you desire. And the last thing that you can do is to worship. So this works. This worship is like jackpot because it shifts your thoughts, your emotions from the envy, from the things to actually beholding how good God has been to you and how good God is to you. And it resets your mind. Your mind is no longer on the things that you do not have, the things that you're not experiencing, the things that you've not been able to achieve. But you begin to actually say, man, I'm even alive to even feel this way. The fact that I'm alive is why I can actually feel envious towards another person. The fact that I have a marriage is why I can even say, oh my goodness, I envy my partner. So it begins to actually shift your attention to the things that matter, the things that he has done and is doing in your life, helping you see that you have come a long way from where you used to be. Okay, you might not be where you imagined yet, but you are not where you used to be. You have moved, you have grown, you have evolved, something has changed, you have experienced growth. So that worship just helps. Whenever you even feel like you don't have the words, you don't have the explanation for how you feel, go to God in worship. Just worship. If tears flow, let it flow. You are unburdening how you feel. You are unburdening your heart to God. Sometimes unburdening our heart to God, you don't even have to talk. Sometimes, just let the tears flow and He understands how you feel. And then you begin to receive insight about the things to do, even apart from things that I've shared with you. But the things that I've shared with you do work. Okay? They work. Check them anywhere. They work. These are the things that you just have to put your heart into. Do sincerely because you want your marriage to work. Well, except you do not want it to work. But I believe that you want your marriage to work and you want to enjoy it. So you have to intentionally do these things. Every single one of them, not leaving anyone behind. If one addresses the situation today, if I'm not, just keep trying them, just keep doing them, just keep doing them, just keep doing them. But most importantly, keep praying, keep solidifying your own roots, grow in contentment. When you are contented, you don't covet what another person has. You don't envy what another person has because you know that, oh yeah, it's beautiful that you have it. I'm so happy for you. Right now, I'm where God will have me be. I'm right at the center of His will. And when you are sure, you are sure. Okay, even when sometimes doubts want to come, you constantly remind yourself of that. I'm right at the center of God's will for my life, and I'm doing what He will have me do at this particular time. Next year, tomorrow, He might have me do another thing, but today, as I'm speaking, I'm right where He will have me be. So that helps you. That helps me to grow contented. So my husband is doing awesome things. I am so excited. I am proud of him. I'm doing awesome things. I'm so excited. I am proud of me. You are doing awesome things. I'm so excited. I am proud of you. Okay. So begin to see it that way. And this is no assurance that the feeling of envy or the emotion of envy will not try to pop up again. But that's why I've given you this awesome things, tips that could help you. So once you see a tiny, tiny bit of it trying to pop up, get your guards up, do what is required of you so that it does not linger. Because when envy stays for a long time, it causes division in the marriage. So that even now leads into full blown jealousy because you now start to see other things. You guys begin to drift apart, and then you begin to create room for other things to take both of your attentions, which is not what it, I can assure you. I hope that today's video has been helpful to you. I hope that you have learned something. I have learned something. I have been reminded once again, of so many things. And I'm just so grateful to God that you joined us today. Pastor Davi, thank you so much for joining. I'm so excited that you joined in this video. God bless you, sir. Jirola Lawa, thank you so much for joining. Good evening. I'm so happy that you joined us today, and I hope that you've learned something. And my amazing husband is also in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining. And I'm just so grateful for every single one of you that will watch this later. God bless you. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. And yay, happy new month. We have not said that officially. Happy new month. Welcome to Joyful, Joyful June. And it's going to be a beautiful month for every single one of us. Look forward to the awesome topics that we have in this June and July. You don't want to miss it because it is packed, packed, packed with awesome people. So watch out for the flyers and set your reminders. Have a beautiful week, everybody. Bye.